RMJ Movie Reviews back again, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, it's been a really busy month. I haven't been posting this frequently, so, I'm trying to get back in action. The struggle is real out here, y'all. But I'm coming not with an on-the-fly movie review, but of a trailer review of the... What can I call this? The Halloween reboot semi-sequel to the 1978 John Carpenter film. As you all know, who are fans of my channel, again for the millionth, 7500th, trillionth time, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 1981. So, John Carpenter's original 1978 Halloween is my favorite horror movie of all time. I first saw it because I'm a Clevelander. I was born and raised in the city of Cleveland. I saw it, those of you who might be from Cleveland, I saw it on the Channel 43 8 o'clock movie, I believe in 1986 or 87. And I've been with the series since then. I had a black and white television in my room when I was a kid, and that was when I saw John Carpenter's Halloween on a black and white television back in the 80s when you can turn your antenna up and go 3, 5, 8, channel U. And it was on Halloween Horror Week. And I've been hooked on the film ever since. I had taped it off the Channel 43 8 o'clock movie. I had actually seen the films as Halloween 1, and then I had seen Halloween 3, and then years later I had seen Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2 from 1981. I had saw it on the Channel 5 movie, and then me and my cousins and I rented it from the video store. Back video stores, kids, remember those? And then pretty much I had seen all of them from 4 and up as they came to video. And the first Halloween movie I saw theatrically was Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, starring Mr. Paul Rudd himself. Now, I'm a fan of the entire franchise. I'm even a fan of lesser films, which would definitely be Halloween 5, kind of, in my opinion, a little bit of H2O. I do like Rob Zombie's remake. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying I enjoyed it for the Rob Zombie-esque twist on it. And, Resurrection, Rob Zombie Part 2, I can, whatever. You all might want to check out my reviews of Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers 2 and Halloween 5 that have been on my channel for a while. But, needless to say, after Rob Zombie's sequel to his remake, I was kind of like, I was kind of just ho-hum on the series because I didn't like that film. I appreciate the stones that it had to get as wacky as it did. But I was kind of, whatever. But then when I heard Danny McBride and this other gentleman, how much they love the original film, and this is kind of going to ignore even Rick Rosenthal's film from 1981, I was intrigued. At this point, I'm kind of here nor there about the series. But either way, what did I think of the trailer? I wasn't, now I'm going to sound a little bit like a hater. I wasn't overly impressed by the trailer, but I didn't hate it either. I tell you the things I liked. I did like that it has a very gritty, like, serious tone to it, that it's going to be played straight. It's not going to have like the angle that maybe H2O had to it, or definitely Halloween Resurrection. H2O and Resurrection was, they had lost their minds. It looks, and as much as people hate Rob Zombie's film, I will give them, they had gritty, serious tones. And this kind of harkens back to maybe more along the lines, it appears like maybe the tone of, in terms of playing the stakes serious, like Rob Zombie's sequel, which case that film played it very straight and serious. And it looks like it's going to have the menace and the supernatural-esque kind of suspenseful, creepy vibe of the original Carpenter film. That's what I felt from the trailers. As far as it retconning Part 2 and them not being brothers and sisters, at this point, they've tried everything with this series. So at this point, I'm kind of up for it. I just want to see what they come up with. We all know John Carpenter is not a fan of Halloween 2. He was, coerced into making that film. He didn't even want to make it. Him and Deborah Hill, they were all coerced into making that film. So, the brother-sister thing, it's pretty good that they booted it, so we could just get back to raw, force of nature, question mark Michael Myers. So that's cool. I guess those were the things I really liked. It looked like definitely it had that Carpenter-esque vibe, the hand going over the stall, those sort of creepy things. Now, what I was not a fan of, I was not this whole British camera angle thing. I'm not particularly a fan of that, and I'm not particularly a fan of him escaping from the institution again, like he did in part 1 and then in part 4. But at this point, whatever, let's just I'll roll with it. The interview crew thing, I'm not a fan of. Also, too, I thought in the trailers, I thought they were showing too much of him. I thought, particularly, don't get me wrong, it's a badass moment. The moment where he puts the mask on at the gas station, badass. But I don't think Michael Myers needs that. To me, I don't think he does it. But at this point, I understand that's an image that they're trying to sell the film, that Michael Myers is back. But I don't think it's needed. The shots of him from medium up with him turning his head, I just, a lot of those shots weren't really in the original film. I don't think they're needed, and I don't particularly like them. Now, I do like the shot. I do like the shot of him that's the homage to him chasing Laurie across the street from the original film. There's a shot of him walking that way. I like that. I like the close-up shot of him switching the knife from this way to around like that. Creepy stuff. The little kids walking into him on the street. I like that. Very good homage to Carpenter's. I like the ghost sheet. Of course, Laurie Strode shooting the gun. That's cool stuff. Overall, I just thought it was an okay trailer. I'm a gigantic Michael Myers fan, so I'm gonna go see it regardless. But I can't say that I thought the trailer was overly great. I like the gritty, serious tone, and I like it feels creepy, and I like that it has little homages to Carpenter's film. But I'm gonna have to, as other YouTubers have said and other people who are gigantic fans of the Halloween movie, I'm gonna have to see the way they actually shoot and light Michael Myers in the film, how they utilize him, whether they're going to use him like they did in Halloween 2, 1981 Halloween 2, where they're showing these full gigantic body shots of him. And although in that film he was still the shape and still the force of nature, I believe there's a lot of shots in that movie where they show too much of Michael Myers. And I wonder if they're going to go back more to the original film where there's really more lots of things of like the shoulder, shots of him from very far away, that sort of thing, that, the kind of his middle body coming into the shots. And I think that's kind of more with it. And then you really don't start to fully see him until the last act of the movie. So I think that's kind of the route they need to stick. They don't need to go into, stuff like Halloween 5 where you're seeing full views of him the entire film. And in him being lit like during the day and all that, he needs to be in complete darkness, in the shadows, creeping around in the background. You need to feel Michael Myers' presence, and it needs to be very claustrophobic, and it needs to go back to the he can be anywhere at any time vibe. So that's what I hope they're going for. We shall see. You know what I mean? We shall see how it turns out. So I'm willing to roll with it and see how it goes. But those are my thoughts on the Halloween 2018 reboot trailer. So subscribe to my channel, thumbs up the video, hit the little bell, and leave comments down below about Halloween 2018 reboot trailer. All right, RMJ Movie Reviews. I will actually be back with a movie review soon.